Hello, everyone. This is Realtor Linda Peltz. Today I'm here with Allie, and she's going to tell you all about her business. Go ahead, take it away, Allie.
Hi, Linda. Thank you for having me here today. So I don't just have one business. I actually have four different businesses, but they all
Busy
kind of
lady.
connect. Yes, they all kind of connect. So first, I'm going to talk about everyone's favorite subject, the C word, which is for credit. We do credit counseling. We also help with credit repair. Been in the industry since November of 2015, have won several awards, and the company name is Recovery Credit Repair. You can follow us or look at our website, which is FICODiva.com. One thing about us is we don't just take on anyone. You have to qualify for services. Some of you might think, how do I not qualify for services? Well,
If
some
I don't
people
have
need
good
bankruptcy.
credit, don't I qualify?
Yeah, but some people truly need bankruptcy. Some people need just to go through some counseling and pay down certain debts. Whereas others they do qualify. Great candidates are people whose debts are over 4 years old. Why do I say that? Because any debt older than today's date, 2020 and older, and as of January 1st will be today's date, 2021 and older from the date of last payment and that date you went into collections is no longer legally collectible by law in California. They only have 4 years to collect. Some
Good
of you might have
information.
some red flag debt that's still legally collectible, and we look at that and we tell you what to do with those accounts. What I mean by that is that they're within the 4 years, and I'm just going to pick on Capital One. You owe them $1,200 or more, they love to sue. So there's a lot of red flag creditors out there that people aren't aware of that we make you aware of that maybe you might want to try to settle before something happens. You just never
Mhm.
know. Identity theft. If you've been a victim of identity theft, a true victim of identity theft, we would love to speak with you. Anyone who has a mixed file. So I'm going to pick on the name Jose Rodriguez. We have a million of them in the world, but sometimes your credit profiles are mixed because our credit reports are not based on our name and our social security number.
Mhm.
So other things that we look at. So there's just a lot of interesting facts about credit. I love credit. When you want to buy a home, like when Linda is working with you, your lenders are not pulling the FICO scores on your apps. Your lenders are looking at a FICO 2, FICO 4, FICO 5. If
Which
you're
is
looking at
different, and I don't think people quite understand that.
it's very different. And then if you're looking at Credit Karma, you're looking at a Vantage 3.0 score. And you're like, okay, Ali, but I have my Experian.com. Great. You're looking at a FICO 8. Well, my Capital One gives me a credit report. Great. That's a FICO 8. It's not a FICO 2, 4, and 5, which is what your lenders are pulling. So we educate you on all those factors. So if any of you have issues with your credit, have a friend or family, even an ex that needs help, give us a call.
Credit
FICODiva.com.
is so confusing. I don't think you're right. I don't think the biggest part of the population understands it. And I don't know how many times they've came in wanting to buy a house and we've had to, you know, we're going to have to get that credit worked on. There's nothing we can do, for right now, but if you'll work on this credit, with, like your company, maybe we can, 6 months, maybe 9 months, maybe a year. It might be 5 years. We just don't know because, like you say, I just don't think a lot of people understand that credit.
Exactly. And another thing that's really important to know is that, and I hear what a lot of people say, but I think that they need to understand is people say, I don't care as long as my credit's fixed. But here's what's really important. In order to do credit repair in California, we have to be registered with the DOJ. We have to be registered with the Attorney General's office. We have to have $100,000 bond, and we have to renew our approval every year.
Mm.
So every year they review our contract, they review our agreement, they review our website, they make sure that we're compliant with the law. And I'm proud to say that we're the only certified credit repair between Bakersfield and Sacramento. That's a huge stretch.
It's that financial part. I know lenders are regulated even heavier than us realtors, as far as trying to get
Yeah,
you into the home. We're regulated, don't get me wrong, but lenders, I was going through some of that with my lenders, and it's like they're more so than even us as realtors. And then, anything to do with the financial institution is what I was learning, that finances and different things, those are the heavier regulated structures out there.
they are. They definitely are. And it's important to, understand that in order to work on your credit, we need your name, your address, your social, your birthday. We're getting important information. So you need to make sure that you're vetting the person that you're working with and
Trust,
that they
make
are
sure you trust
certified
them.
to be
Yeah,
able to.
don't just think everybody's going to have your best interest at heart, because there's a lot of scams that go around. Everybody be careful out there. Get old Allie.
Exactly. Now, the next business that I do is one of my favorites is I love to form LLCs, S corps, corporations. So if you are a sole proprietor and you've reached that tax bracket where you want to convert to an LLC, S corp, or C corp, let's talk. If you're thinking about starting a business, I also do small business consulting, and I love helping people figure out what they need to do. I will always tell you, hey, based on your business type, we need to do A, B, C, and D, or you need to get A, B, C, and D in order to go there. Or I had another gal who, funny enough, I had a conversation with her yesterday, and she's already in business, but not making a certain amount of money yet. And I was like, just stay a sole proprietor for now, and then once you reach the certain threshold, then let's roll over. So there's a lot of things when it comes to businesses. I am not like LegalZoom, who just hands you a binder and says, bye, Merry Christmas.
Here, what do
No,
you want? Well, I don't know
yeah,
what I want. So this is where Allie comes in, people. They tell you what works for what, because we're all different. All our companies are different. Everybody makes different money. And there again, she's dealing with the financial end of it and what's going to
yeah.
make you the most amount of money. So good information, because it is, you get on some of those legal zooms and different things, and it's like they want you to tell you what you want, and you're like, I don't know what I want. That's the whole point of me being here. I'm trying to figure out what I want. So
Exactly, exactly. And then if you're currently an LLC, S corp, or C corp, the BOI filings, they are mandated right now. And they have to be completed. It was till January 1st, but they just extended the deadline to January 13th. So if you're needing those BOI filings done for you, reach out to me. We're getting those done as well. My website is formybusiness.com. And you can call me at 559-245-1245, and that's for the businesses. Now, the
wonderful.
next business is I'm a business partner with Yvonne, who's not here today with us, but we do taxes. We do personal and business taxes. So we don't really need to talk about Uncle Sam. One thing that's different about us when we do taxes is we ask you those questions. We have a lot of realtors as clients who they give us their write-offs, but sometimes they don't know that there's more things that they can write off, right? We ask those questions. Also, I'll always ask you, hey, is your goal to buy a home? Because if we write off too much, we can disqualify, your taxes alone can disqualify you from becoming a homeowner. So we have
And
those
that's another
discussions
thing, I
with
get
you
the
to
question
figure
all the
out
time,
your
and
goal.
it's like, no, I'm not a tax consultant. You need to, so you would be a good one to refer him to, as far as, I don't know the ins and outs of that. All I know is, I've connected you with the lender who says you don't qualify. And maybe you do. It's just we need to restructure your taxes a little bit. So you would be a good one, that can say, okay, well, if we restructure this and this, because you probably know a lot of that, then maybe you can get into a house by next year, right? So
Exactly. And don't be afraid to owe, because guess what? If you owe, we can put you on an installment plan and give you 6 years to pay it.
Hmm.
So it's okay to owe if it gives you the goal of becoming a homeowner. So
Hmm.
don't let that stop you,
And you can
you
also,
know.
I mean, I don't exactly know how it's done, but you can also restructure your taxes somehow after you get into your house too. So,
That we have to be careful with amendments because sometimes they can trigger audits. So we always have those talks too.
and see, that's why
Yeah.
you go to Allie, not me, because I'm not an accountant or a tax person. I will get you into trouble.
And
Go over to Allie.
in addition to that, if any of you owe back taxes to the IRS, we also do offer and compromises with the IRS. For example, I have a client who owed 75,000 and we got the IRS to settle for 5 grand.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, there's always ways around things. So you just have to connect with the people who are passionate about what they do and have your best interest at heart. And sometimes you might say, you're not a good candidate for offer and compromise, and this is why. But let's at least get the installment plan going. And then it
Mhm.
gets IRS off your back. So
Right.
never be afraid.
I have a little horror story. We had a client. Well, I was actually the listing agent, so it was a different realtor on the other side, with dealing with the buyer, but went to close and their lender had told them to go get an installment set up, you know, get a payment plan set up with the IRS. They owe taxes and you can't, that's just one of the lending laws. You can't owe taxes and close that loan. Anyway, he went and instead of setting up a payment plan, he used all his money that he had for the down payment and used it to pay
Oh,
those taxes. Well, then he didn't have money for closing, and there was nothing we can do but just cancel the transaction because he couldn't close. And it's like, so they need to understand the difference between setting up a payment plan versus go pay the taxes because obviously there was some problem in the translation of that little task the lender had given to him and it cost him a home. He didn't get into a home. So
oh,
would have
yeah,
been
and
a good
that's
one to
horrible.
send to you and have Allie help you set up a tax plan.
Exactly, exactly. And that's such a viable story, right? Because when you have a payment plan with the IRS, your lender will just take your payment and count it against your debt to income ratio. And as long as all the ratios make sense, you can still buy your home.
Hmm. That's all
So,
we
but
needed him to
in
do
this
is just
case,
couldn't know it. I mean, get your payment plan set up because you can't have an outstanding debt out there, but you also
yeah,
paid the whole thing at that one time because it cost you a home. So I mean, and I don't think people really understand some of that. They just want to get out of debt, which I get. I understand that, but it really
yeah.
affects
And
them.
in that case, as long as you show the lender that you've made 3 months payments, you're good. Your payment plan's good.
Mhm.
So buy a home.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And then my fourth entity is I also have a nonprofit. It's called Better Solutions. You can go to bettersol.org. We focus on financial literacy. We focus on teaching youth and adults about finances, about budgeting. I'm a certified credit coach through Freddie Mac. So we also have classes about what does it mean to be a renter? What does it mean to buy a house? What does it mean to buy a car? What are the responsibilities involved in that? So we also have a lot of classes that are going to be coming up in 2025 for that. So
That would be
yeah, that's
wonderful.
just
I've
in a
often said
nutshell.
that, and I've talked to some of my lenders. We should do like a literacy program for these poor younger generation coming up. And because we see it so much, they come into the office wanting to buy a house, and there's nothing we can do for them. They just have no clue on money, and it's getting worse every generation. And it's like I keep telling the lenders, like, man, we need to do some literacy in the granted it's not going to solve the problem right now and get the people into homes, but maybe their parents would be willing to come like to the schools for this meeting with the kids or something. Maybe they would learn something, maybe we could start making a difference in some of these people's lives, and because that's where it is. And I'm telling you, it's that credit. They don't understand the credit. They don't understand how to pay bills. They don't understand so many things and how it affects them through life. And it's just the way our world's set up. But that understanding, they just don't teach it in school anymore. So,
They don't. And what's society teaching our youth? Apple Pay, Google Pay, swipe and pay, mindless spending.
yeah.
So everyone's focused on, I have this much money in the bank, so I could spend this. They're not focused on, I have this much money in the bank and these bills are coming up that I need to save for. So
And
I can,
retirement.
yeah, yeah,
And get
retirement.
into a house.
If you have a baby, let's say you just had a baby, or you have a young child, and you set them up on an IUL policy right now, by the time they're 18, they can actually buy a home cash.
Mhm,
And it probably costs you less than the Starbucks a month to set up that policy.
mhm. And
People
people just
don't
don't
think about that.
understand that. They don't do it anymore. I tell that all the time. I said, back in like my grandparents' era, number one, they bought homes a little bit later in life, but they saved and they just usually paid cash for these homes, in their 40s or 50s somewhere. Then they get a home, right? Then they just pay cash for a home. So I don't know. It's a lot different nowadays. Nowadays, a lot of the generations, they want it right now and they want their forever home right now, in their 20s, and it's like, or early 30s. And it's like, well, you don't really make, that kind of money. You're going to be actually in a starter home, and then you can build your equity and use it like a bank and then use that equity. And then we can upgrade you to a home maybe later on, that you would consider your forever home. But it is a little
Exactly.
different nowadays, but I don't think the understanding, like you said, of the financial literacy is there. And I'd love to be involved with that. If you ever need for a realtor, feel free, give me a call.
Yeah, yeah, no, but I have a lot of classes I'm gonna be putting together for 2025, so,
Very
yeah.
nice. Do you have any more contact information, websites, anything you would like to share? And we'll go ahead and close out here, and I'll leave all that
Yeah,
information down below for everybody.
sure. So one thing I do want to let you guys know also is we are a trilingual company, speak Spanish and Portuguese. If you have any friends who have I-10s, meaning they don't have a social security number, but they have an I-10 number, we work with our I-10 community as well. So for credit repair, it's Recovery Credit Repair 559-372-2823, FICODiva.com. For
Very nice.
Aldiva Inc., which is the formybusiness.com, phone number is 559-245-1245. For the taxes, it's OMG Tax Gals. We don't have a website. Normally, if you call the Recovery Credit Repair number, that's where we answer all the calls. And
Nice.
then for Better Solutions, the nonprofit, it's 559-553-0003. And that's www.bettersol.org. And we're here to help you. So let's make your dreams come true, whatever they may be.
Oh, that's fantastic, Alec. Wow, you are organized. And she's good at organization, people. So let her help
Yes.
you organize your business. Everybody, this is Realtor Linda Peltz. It was lovely having a chat with Allie and letting her know what's out there. I hope you have a wonderful new year coming up. We're getting close to the end.
Yes.
Everybody, have a wonderful day. My license number 01997670, and I will catch all of you on the next one. Have a great day.